These three stories, like literally, these three stories are going to blow up your business. And I'm not saying this because, okay, I know like a bunch of stories, like I'm a storyteller, but this three will, like, even if you don't tell any stories in your business this year, tell these three stories. Yeah. Now, before we go in, I just want to talk to you a bit about why do people talk about storytelling so much in business and life? It's because stories help you connect to the reality of your ideal clients. Now, there's something that I learned a couple of years ago, and I've seen this happen all the time. Every single person in the world can relate to the same story. For example, if I tell you someone was betrayed by their lover, without you knowing who the person was, you can relate to being betrayed by your lover because there's such a story in whatever culture you're from. If we talk about betrayal, we talk about love, we talk about death, we talk about fear, we talk about grief, we talk about all these thematic things. We all share those experiences. We all know what it feels like to a certain degree. Now, the reason why this is so key is because every time you share a story, you're connecting with your ideal clients, you're connecting with your audience on a deeper level than if you're just sharing normal facts. And I'll give you a simple example to just illustrate this. If, for example, I tell you that 20% of women are obese, for example, it's like 20%, no, it's 20%. But like say, if you know 5 women, one of them is obese, you can start thinking like, oh, I know 5 women. I know the person. Why? Because instead of me saying the numbers, I've told you a story. Now, a story doesn't necessarily mean it's Cinderella or it's Toy Story or there's a Beauty and the Beast. A story is just a narrative. It's just painting a picture of something of a fact, of an event. And these 3 stories I'm telling you are guaranteed to be the best stories you're going to tell in your business. And I'm just going to go straight. So I don't want to waste your time. But before we go in, let me tell you one more thing. My name is Lola, your friend, and I am a storyteller. I sell online with stories, with content, and with science. And I will show you exactly how to do this. As you watch videos on my channel, you're going to learn how to sell with content, you'll sell with stories, you will sell with science. Because if you know how people's brains work and you know why people buy, you can always get people to buy from you. Like seriously. But now let's go into these 3 stories. Now, the first of these stories is a story that people hardly use. All the gurus use it, but every other person doesn't use it. I don't even know why. Because it's a story that is so easy to tell that it's like, it's so simple. Like, why don't you tell the story already? And this story, wait for it, is the show me the money story. You know how you go for an event or you go for maybe a business presentation and someone is going on and on and on and on, and you're just bored. You're like, just finish, I'm tired. And the moment they start talking about how much money you're going to make, your ears just perk up. I'm like, okay, now I'm listening. I know this happened to me like twice where I was invited for an MLM presentation. Now, no offense to if you have an MLM, good luck to you. But I was invited for an MLM presentation and the person went on and on about, rich dad, poor dad, about, have you ever been to an MLM presentation? It's a long tyranny of different things that they try to find a way to make everything relate. And at the end of it, the guy now goes on to say like, he has traveled to like 15 countries or something. And that was when I started paying attention. Why? Because we're selfish buyers. We all buy for our own self-interest. So all the things the guy had been saying about, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, it's not my business. But the moment the guy could tell me like, show me the money, and showed me like, I have the money, I just instantly, he just grabbed my attention. And this is something that all the gurus do. Now, again, I'm not saying go become your favorite guru, but I'm saying show me the money story. And it's very easy. Now, one thing that people think is that for me to tell the story means that I have to have had, millions of dollars. I have to have been super successful. No, anybody can do a show me the money story without lying. So we get caveat here. I'm not saying go and lie. I'm not saying say I made $1 million when you did not make anything. That's not the thing. Show me the money story is literally walking someone through a narrative of how your opportunity works. So for example, if you do a post and you start saying like, with my program, I help people make maybe $10,000 months. And you say, for example, if you have a $2,000 offer and you implement the steps in my program and you make just 5 sales per month, you have made $10,000. What have you done? You've just shown the person the money. And this is not just in money coaching. This could be in any type of thing. This could be in a relationship coaching. It's like, hey, with my system, you could easily just find a date in 21 days, because in my system, this is what we do, this is what we do, this is what we do. And by the time you do these 3 things, you're going to realize that it's so easy to find a date. Another example, let's say you help people lose weight, right? I could say like most people struggle to lose weight because they are not consistent in the gym. But with my system, all you have to do is 5 minutes exercises every single day. And because you're doing 5 minutes exercises every single day, it's going to compound. And by the end of so and so days, you're going to lose so and so weight. What you've done is you've shown them the money. You've shown them how they're going to get the results. So in case you're not doing money coach, you can say like, show the result. Yes, this is what you've done. You've shown them that your system works logically, because the goal of selling with stories is not for you to tell people you must buy my thing. The goal is to get people to sell themselves on working with you. That's the real hack. It's for people to be sitting down and be thinking like, oh my God, I really wish I bought this thing. And that's something that luxury brands do all the time. People plan to buy the next Chanel bag. Why? Because Chanel has sold them subconsciously. So there's a story, there's a narrative they play into. So again, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, you want to do a show me the money story. If you're not doing it now, please go write one in your email list right now. Go send one to your email list right now. The second story you want to do is the evidence story. Now, this is slightly different from the show me the money, because show me the money, you don't necessarily have to have a success story to do this. You just want to walk someone through logically the narrative of how they're going to make the money, get the results, whatever it is they want. But when it comes to an evidence story, this is you giving them evidence that what you're teaching actually works for their specific situation. So for example, let's say most people who come to work with me, or most people who come to buy from me are, let's have a parenting coach, right? And most women who come to buy from me are women who are moms who are stay-at-home moms, right? And maybe for stay-at-home moms, it's easy, but maybe 1 or 2 of my clients are women in corporates who don't have enough time to do like the whole kumbaya, kusera stuff with their babies and want a fast way. If I want to do an evidence story, it means I could take one of the stories of one of my clients who is in corporates and just paint a picture of the before and after they work with me. So it's just like saying like, hey, I know most time when people come to work with me, they usually say, I don't have 10 hours to do this. I just want to do this thing in 5 minutes or less. I want to have like a 5-minute hack that gets my baby to sleep immediately. Most people think like that, right? And I've just had a client, Carly, and what did Carly do? Carly works in corporates. Carly has 6 kids. Carly does this, and this is how this has worked for Carly. So this is an evidence story. You're not just going to say like, it's not show me the money. It's not like, oh, this is how it's going to work. It's like, this has already worked for so-and-so and it can work for you. So if you have client stories, testimonials, all these nice things, take those stories and tell a real story out of it. So for example, I have a testimonial from one of my favorite clients, Amy. And that was when she bought my Act bundle, which again is $37. It's 90 content bundles, 90 content templates that you could use anywhere. When she bought the Act bundle, one of the things she sent to me as a testimonial was, I've used the Act bundle to sell in the DMs. No calls, no sales calls, nothing. I've used it to sell 2 $1,500 programs, making $3,000. Now, when if I want to tell that story as an evidence story, I will not just post Amy made $3,000. That's not the evidence. What I will do is I would say, hey, when Amy came to buy the Act bundle, she was already struggling because she wanted to be having, I don't want to use the word struggling. When she came to buy the Act bundle, she was tired of taking so many sales calls. I can start with that. I can say she knew that she wanted to get people to buy her $1,500 program without having to get on the phone with her. And so the Act bundle was the natural choice. When she did this, she picked, the second templates from the Attract, the third templates from the Transact, and she used both templates and she signed 2 $1,500 clients in 1 week. Now, me sharing that as a story as opposed to just sharing it as a testimonial video, what does that do for my audience? It allows them to walk through it. Now, there are other people who are like Amy, who have the same story with Amy, and they're feeling like, I'm done with sales calls. those people want to buy the Axe bundle. You see how that works? Really simple. Think of one of your offers and just tie it to a client story. Now, again, I will say the first thing I said the first time. Don't lie. Don't pick. If you don't have any clients, it's good. There's still a third story. Don't lie. Don't pick, one random person and say, oh, this person made 6 million when you know it's not true. Please don't lie. Third story, the sarcasm story. So a lot of times when it comes to the online space, people struggle because they're always serious. They never want to be themselves. They want to be like everyone else. And one of the things we have to realize is that we're never like everyone else. We're like us. What makes you different? What makes you people buy from you? You, especially if you're doing a personal brand. Now let's talk about the sarcasm story. The sarcasm story is a story where you're literally mocking the problem. But you pick an enemy. This is the funniest and the easiest story, so I guarantee you. You pick a common enemy, and please, this common enemy is not going to be please don't pick a political enemy. Please don't pick like a real enemy. Like, this is just going to be a common enemy, an ideology. And then you just make jokes around this ideology. So for example, my own common enemy is Coach Nancy. Coach Nancy doesn't, if you're a coach and your name is Nancy, I'm not talking to you. But Coach Nancy really doesn't exist. Who Coach Nancy is an embodiment of all the bad coaching advice out there. And so from time to time, I tell a story about Coach Nancy. I would say something like, Mark Zuckerberg just did a video, but Coach Nancy said, don't do videos. Why am I sharing that kind of story? It's sarcastic. But what does he do? It goes beyond just the surface level, and it allows us to remember. You know how you remember jokes? That's how you remember sarcasm stories. So for example, let's say you are a dating or a relationship coach. And one thing that is very common in the dating industry, dating niche, is speed dating, where you get a bunch of people and then they have like 5 minutes to talk to someone. And maybe you hate speed dating. And you could say like, hello everyone except those who are doing speed dating, because speed dating doesn't work. You could do a story and talk about like why speed dating doesn't work in a funny, sarcastic way. And there's so many ways to do it. So let me give you an example of a sarcasm story I've done before. So I said, imagine you're on a plane and you're having fun. You saved money to be on this plane. This is first class. You're excited. And then the hostess walks up to you and tells you, I just want to just tell you something just before we go up. This is actually the pilot's first flight. He has never flown before. And you look at the host and you're like, wait, are you serious? So like, yes, but he's good. He's read all the books on aerodynamics. He knows how to draw planes. He has tried it out. He has done it on the computer. The only thing is he has never flown a plane before, but don't worry, you're in safe hands. And before you can like unstrap yourself and you turn around, you're already in the air, and all your mind, like even if you don't believe in God, at this point you're like, God help me. If you help me, I'm going to believe in you, because I can't. You get a point. This is a sarcastic story. Of course, no one's ever going to be, okay, I don't know now. Some people are weird. They could eventually go and become the pilots first, but no one wants to be the pilot's first passenger. Nobody wants to be the doctor's first surgery. And I could take this story and talk about how no one actually wants to be your first client. Which is true. Nobody wants to be your first ever client in the world, because we're not really sure you can get us results. And I could talk about how the best thing to do is be your own first client. Show up for your own business. Sell your own business. If you do graphics for yourself first. If you do videos for yourself first. Be your first client. So the next time you have a client, you're going to be able to deliver because you've done it before. I could talk about how, using the same story, I could talk about how that's how people approach sales. They approach sales like they're pilots who has never flown, because they're always reading books on sales. They're watching videos, they're taking notes, they're writing strategies, but they never actually sell. So every single story you take that's sarcastic could be tied to any offer. You could do this in 6 million ways. But I will recommend that if you want to start making sales, especially when you're telling stories, you want to tell these 3 stories. You want to do a show me the money story, show people the money, show them how to get the results, show them it's fun. Again, caveat here, I'm not saying download your entire program and send people as a PDF because you're trying to show them the money. Just give them like a bird's eye view of how this is going to work, right? The second story you want to tell is an evidence story. Show them evidence that what you talk about actually works. let's say you're a fertility coach, show them people that have actually given birth using your method. Let's say you're a parenting coach, show them people who are happy parents. Let's say you do products, show them people who have gotten results using your products. Like, you can't be telling me that you sell skincare and you have acne all over. Show them the evidence, right? The third story is the sarcasm story. Be funny, have fun with it. Take something, make a common enemy, make a sarcastic remark, make it fun, because eventually we remember funny people. And you know something I used to hear when I was younger, and I never believed it, but it's always said that the funny guy always gets to go, but funny guys always get laid. Why? Because we like funny. We like people who are fun. We remember things that are funny. We laugh about things that are funny. And laughter, happiness, that's an emotion that actually leads people to buy. So if you want to sell more, tell these 3 stories. And by the way, I just wanted to tell you, because I'm not going to leave this place without selling to you. Story selling sprint is coming. If you don't know how to tell stories, if you think like, Lola, I want you to like help me tell great stories, bring new people into my world. Lola, I want to grow my business. You need to absolutely join Story Selling Sprint. And don't just join, add your VA, add everybody, because this is literally going to change your business. The cohorts are starting. We have one every quarter. So check for the latest one. When you click the link below, all the details are there. I will see you there. Have a fantastic day. Take care. Bye-bye.